Hello. Um, so first of all, if you do not know, Kylie Rodni, she was found today by a group called Adventures with Purpose. They're a specialized dive team. They volunteered and law enforcement allowed them, or law enforcement asked them to come help, and they dove into some of the water around the campgrounds that the party was at, and they found her remains in her car around 5:30 p.m. EST. So that was probably what, two, like California time. You know what I mean. So I just want to say that. So condolences to the family and friends of her, and people who are mourning her loss, and just going on to the next step of this process, which is confirming what happened, or figuring out exactly what happened, and moving forward from there so that she can be put to rest and the family can, grieve as they need to. The other thing I want to talk about is that I was going to pull a couple cards on the situation and see what I got in regards to her, like later on today, like probably around 8 p.m. today. Excuse me. My cam's not on because I'm tired. Because I'm tired. But and I guess it was good that it was time to wait, because something that I did get when I was trying to kind of see what was going on with her, or just when I thought about her, not intentionally trying to tap in, I did get water. I did get that feeling of water, but to me, that's not specific enough or detailed enough for me to go, oh, okay, there's something with water. Like I'm like, oh, I had a hunch that there was water. Yeah, but for me, that's just not enough for me to say that the water. I mean, it could be anything with water, with the way that spirit and things come through. Um, so I don't want to talk about that necessarily. What I do want to kind of talk about is I did end up pulling cards to see like what's going on with the situation. And I did this earlier, and I'm glad I did, because some things came up, and I'm just going to kind of talk about that in general. Will bring up two things that I believe, and I'll kind of, that I believe um, Kylie brought up. And it wasn't like she told me these things. It was more like I was reading and I was like, okay, what's this? And I was like, it feels like this. And it was more like she confirmed for me and then gave me some imagery. When I get to those parts, I'll let you know. And I'm really just going through my notes. So give me a moment. Okay. This is to document the reading and my thoughts on Kylie Rodni. I previously tried to tap in. Okay. So when I previously tried to tap in, I did not feel like dead energy around her. Like she did not feel dead per se. And that's not uncommon for me with people who are newly, freshly like passed. I can't think of another way to say that without sounding weird. But that's not uncommon for someone who has been like, this is just the way I get things. Um, there are people who have passed, and yeah, it's so I just want to say that. But something interesting about when I was reading for her, it felt like she felt that she was in like this surreal movie type environment. It just felt like things were not real to her. So it almost felt like she wasn't quite aware of what was going on. I keep on getting, she felt like it was like she it felt like she was in a movie all of a sudden. Um, I think it's just that she hasn't kind of gotten a grip as to what has really happened. And it could be an indication of whatever type of state she was in before she passed. Talking about intoxication. So, okay. Yeah. So I got some more things about her, like as she is right now. And to be honest, because of the way people play around with spirituality and cards and contacting the dead, I don't want to get into extra details. If there's, someone comes across this and they want me to tell the family or someone affiliated with the family or send them a message, there's an okay that I can send them something about how she's feeling. I don't think that's appropriate, so I'm not. But they could reach out to me if they want to know. Cool. But yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that in public because people do not need to know. Like I this is for my notes earlier. People don't respect boundaries of the dead. They barely know how to respect the boundaries of the living. Okay. So I'm asking what happened. Yeah, so I was saying there that I was asking what happened. I'm not exactly asking her, but I have, told her that she can chime in if she would like. That I did feel like I felt her a couple times, but I was trying to tap in and pick up information on her, if I could, when I would think about her. Talked about me dismissing the water. Okay, so there's something here where part of the reason why she didn't feel quite um dead was because it was like she was going, I have so much, she had a lot of things she was looking forward to in the past. I feel like there might have been something within 7 to 10 days of that party that she was really looking forward to. And she was really, really, really excited for something happening at the beginning of September. I just assumed that at school, maybe she's going to college. I didn't get clarity on it. I just got the sense of excitement from her on that. I don't know what it is. And at this point in time, I try not to get too much into the case. And towards the end, I'll say how much I know about it, how much I've been paying attention to the news and things of that nature. Okay, so this is where I get into the cards. Um, yeah, again, she's thinking that she had her plans. She can't believe that this is happening, that she's not going to be able to go to this, well, that it already passed, but I feel like to her it's like time kind of stopped on that day. Like in her mind, that thing is still 7 days ahead or 10 days ahead. In her mind, like she's still thinking, the end of August, beginning of September, there's something really important happening there. A new like milestone or something personally. um So the very first card that came out was the Justice card reversed. And I feel that that is kind of speaking to something. I don't want to say foul play exactly, but it feels like there's something is not right in the milk, in the cream, and something's not right here. It may not be something illegal. It may be something that's unethical or like wrong, but not exactly illegal. But there's something not quite right. Um, and someone has anxiety about justice becoming upright. And, I feel like that's self explanatory. And I have heard some of the things that her friend, I'm going to say friend in quotations, just because I don't know the relationship between these people. Kiely can't speak for herself, and nobody's really talking, so I don't know. But I don't know. Like I feel like there was drug use, there was drinking, there was drug use there, and people are upset that these kids, and I'm going to say kids, even though they're young adults, are not aren't being honest. I'm like, are you surprised? Like, I'll go into that later. But the other thing that I got during the reading was there felt like a male energy. It felt like it was kind of domineering. Um, oh, and for time steps, so the time that I recorded this reading was literally, if she was I'll go back on, I just need to say this before I forget. The time that I did this reading was like at 6 p.m. today. EST. Yep, there was an older man, a boy, someone that's kind of that is in a more authoritative position, or just older. And I feel like he was trying to orchestrate things, like tell people, like, "Hey, you have that drink, over there. You should finish that drink. It's not nice to not finish your drink, or it's not polite, or something like that." Someone trying to get people to like maybe do a little bit more than they should, or just maybe that's just his nature. But I feel like there may be three people that he targeted, and I don't mean targeted in a bad way, but the she made them feel uncomfortable, as in like doing more than they really felt comfortable with. Yeah, and I was saying it felt like someone egging you on to take extra shots or something. Like I was saying, I was feeling back then. I don't know what his motive was, but it definitely feels like an older male. And it didn't feel exactly malicious, like, he was trying to get someone so inebriated that they couldn't consent to something. That's not what I'm getting, but I got there. It was a power play type thing. Mm-mm-mm. What? Okay, I'm still going on explaining what I was feeling, but I think I did. Okay, so here's the other part. When I talk about inebriation, I do feel like she was under the influence of something. I felt things being a little hazy, things being a little confused. And at that moment, I was thinking, okay, if she is, because what I have heard of the case was her friends and family said that she's not someone who would drive intoxicated. That, like, absolutely no, she wouldn't. And things can change, or maybe but keeping that in mind, and anything can happen. Um, so I'll just say that I'm not going to hold people's past actions and go, but they're saying it'd be extremely out of character for her to drive herself, when she knew she was not not sober. So when I was tapping into like that she was um, not sober, and I was picking up on alcohol, it just felt like there was more. It had to be at least two things in her system. I am interested to see what they get on the tox results. I wonder if they will release them publicly, since she's technically a minor. Um, but I'm getting that there was more than one thing. And at that point, that's when Kiely stepped in and she showed me her taking a pill, putting it on her tongue, and kind of cheeking it. Oh, and I'm getting another chill, and kind of putting it in her cheek. So I don't know if the intent of her doing that, and I meant to ask in that moment, but then I got into something else. That got distracted by something else. If it was to make the effect of this pill stronger, or to not with the intention to spit it out later. Because I feel like the intention was to spit it out later. I feel like she may not have wanted to really take that right now, but maybe felt pressured to a little bit. That's the vibe I get on her. And then I was like, okay, so what is this pill? And I'm sorry, I'm not I'm not a recreational drug or party drug user. So I don't know. Like, I know that there is weed. I know that there is, opiates and all the other things I'm not too aware of. Maybe it was what they call Molly. Um, it may have had, because what I see, it wouldn't be particularly hers, but that can come in stamped with cute pictures. And I don't know if this is all, like, I know there are several different types of pills that people use. I don't know if that matches, if Molly and it being stamped with a like a cartoon, or like a little fun like furry or a panda or something being stamped with cute little things. I'm not sure if that is in the if that goes along with it. Let me just say that. I might know to say I'm old. I don't know this shit. And yeah, it feels like party drugs. So something that's a party drug that's a pill. I'll just say that. Um, okay, and I said thank you that time. Yep, under the influence of many things. Could have been alcohol. Okay, and I was saying I don't know what the effects of what someone would feel like being on alcohol and on that pill or different types of pills. So if someone knows and they can explain what the feeling is kind of like, you can message me. You don't have to message. I mean, um, right under here, this video, if you don't want to put all your business out there. Yeah, but I'm kind of getting that she may have been used to alcohol, but maybe alcohol and this party drug together was different from her, was different for her, and made her feel a little different. Um, okay, and then we're talking about friends, or friends came up with the cards. And I'm trying to remember the other cards that came up. I did take a picture. Um, I do remember it was justice reversed. There were two other cards. I'm gonna have to pull up the picture because I can't remember right now. Um, Someone was worried about money and blood. What? Okay, okay. So I was feeling in her friend group, or there's some type of conversation around this case where people are worried about this affecting things that they're doing. Um, of whether it's college, whether it's school, whether it is their job, whether it's the way they make money or their reputation. It could be all of the above. But I feel some people say, oh my God, this literally happened at the worst time. Not that you can talk about. So this is at the time where we just assumed she was missing. I feel like the people who thought this may not have known or did not know that she was not alive. They maybe just thought she was missing, and it looked bad for them to be in at this party. Someone's missing. Maybe it's someone who provided the drugs. I feel like these people, like, they're concerned. They don't want to be targeted. And I know law enforcement has said where our goal is to find Kiely. It's not to prosecute anyone for drugs or underage alcohol, which I completely understand. And I feel that the law enforcement is trying to keep their word on that. But I feel that, and I'll just say, I personally know of some times where people, they'll be like, okay, well, we didn't prosecute you then, but we know that this is something that you're into. You know what I mean? I don't want to say that they would try and hold it against them later, but I feel like some people were afraid that this would happen. I don't know much about that police department. I don't know if that's in their nature to do. I just feel like this is something that people were afraid of happening. Some people are being afraid of the drinking being traced to them, the drugs being traced to them being implicated in, like a wrongful death suit or something of that nature. Like someone was really thinking about the legal things of this. And then what else? Yep, I was getting justice had not been served. And then I got the judgment card, very last one. But I forget what a card I got in the middle. Quiet. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, seeing that just in the judgment. So even though all these people are being quiet, what they don't know is that their digital evidence is going to be looked at. Yeah. I feel that some people, and again, I'm not sure because I did ask specifically, because it was not just coming out. I was like, what was the circumstances around her death? Was this something intentionally done by someone? Was it an accident? Was it an overdose? I asked all these questions and I got my block cards each and every time. So that's something I think we're just not meant to know right now. At least I'm not meant to know at the moment. And I do have a little, when I'm low rant here, I'll leave that alone. I was pretty much talking about the repercussions. Like, a lot of people were so invested in this case, like, bring Kiely home, which I 100% agree with. But they were telling people, just go to law enforcement, tell them what you know. I'm like, are you not thinking of? And maybe maybe my brain is just, I understand coming from, there's certain environments where it's dangerous if you say certain things to certain people. Let's say it was involved with the drugs that were there. Let's say there were dealers there. And you know what I'm saying? And threatening, the way they make their money, is a threat to your life. And people are like, oh, well, people should just go to the police and tell them what they know. Yes, tell them what you know if you can do it safely, but just the entitlement some people have, and I call it using crime for entertainment, is part of the things that really upset me. People just thinking that, oh, just, that people should completely upturn their entire life to help police or to help an investigation, when it probably isn't going to help them like that much, or it's going to put their life or put themselves at harm. And people going, well, it doesn't matter, we're finding something. I'm like, I just can't get down with that. Maybe other people get it. I personally don't. If I knew something about someone, would I try and find a way to would I talk to police? Probably yes. But I can understand other people in other situations that might not be a luxury of them, and it could actually be dangerous. And people just going, oh, well, they should just talk to the police. And just the discourse I see about it online, it really rubs me the wrong way. I just say that because at the end of the day, when I'm talking about the people who are, I think Kiely was the youngest one at that party, 17, 18, have their whole lives ahead of them. Some things that happen now could really affect them. And I'm not saying that if someone did something wrong, they shouldn't be held accountable for their actions. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if someone has some association with drugs or whatever, and let me not even go into, I'm not going to. So anyways, yeah, I talked about that already. Okay, I do not know what's happening here. Okay. This stuff right there because I have everything I want to say. Oh, that's why I always said it. There was something else that she chimed in on. Oh, okay, that was it. All right. This thing people act like, okay, that's me going on my rant that I just said I was not going to. Okay. Okay. There might have been a romantic offer that she turned down, and this kind of just came up as an aside. I don't think it was related to her case. It could be someone that was there, wanted to be, a boyfriend to her. Oh my God, boyfriend to her, or wanted to go out on a date or something. And she is just like, no, I'm good. I don't think this person is bad or anything. It's just it came up. Maybe I know there was a male. I know there was Sammy that was talking, and a male that was talking, and I think they were friends. And I don't know if he said that he talked to her at that day or he wanted to date her. I honestly don't remember because I'm sorry, this is gonna sound so dismissive, and I'm not trying to be. I promise. Sometimes when teenagers it just sounded like both of them were giving like a story, like they were telling the public what they wanted to hear. I didn't feel like they were saying anything legitimate. So I never listened to I think I listened to maybe 2 minutes of what Sammy had to say. And I'm sorry, I couldn't listen to them. And I was like, okay, my idea was after today was my plan. Tomorrow I was gonna go watch all the things, get caught up. But I wanted to do my reading first before I got caught up on the news. So that's why I'm so ignorant about it now. Like if things come up and I'm like, I feel like it's something I don't need to hear or it doesn't feel right, I won't watch it until after. All right. There was something about laying the foundation or making a connection to her. There were two things that way. And I will say, I don't see it right now. I think I had a flow to it. Um, Okay, so I mentioned before there was an older male, like a domineering presence that felt like he was forcing people to do things. Like it almost felt like, hey, this person kind of considered himself to be okay. You guys are here. You're like, my test animals. You're like my pets. I can like instruct you guys to do things. You're gonna do them. You know what I mean? Like it felt kind of like that. Like interesting. And also, I was seeing Sammy seeing herself as like a princess, and I did get this vibe. I don't know how the state of, like I've said, the friendship between her and Kiely was exactly, because I almost feel like there was a bit of jealousy there from Sam to Kiely. And this may not be a bad thing, because I'm not trying to say jealous to make her feel bad about herself, but I feel like maybe Sam was just someone who, I don't want to say wasn't well liked or popular, but maybe it was hard, like it took effort for her to like be social and to be liked or to be invited to things in her perspective. And for Kiely, maybe it was just natural. People naturally wanted to be around her. It seems like she could have been I don't know. It feels like there was something about Kiely being younger and something about men, and I feel like boys, let's just say, collectively being more interested in Kiely than Sammy. Something of that nature was happening, and it didn't just feel like one. It feels like multiple, and I feel like like Kiely might have been kind of like a tomboy. And I say that as in she might not have been like boy crazy, or to the point where just some girls that they just are like, okay, I just don't date like that. Like there's some girls that they're like, oh yeah, I got, I'm dating all these people or whatever, or you always hear them with people. I feel like maybe Kiely wasn't like that. So it almost feels like what Sammy was wanting, Kiely naturally just had. The people were naturally drawn to her. And again, I don't think it's anything malicious, anything bad in this, but I do see that maybe Sammy might have seen it as a slight sometimes. Like it may have hurt her self esteem sometimes. I just bring that up to say that it was kind of brought up because there was something else that I mean, that's what was there. So I'm just going to say what's there. I'm not trying to accuse Homegirl of anything. I don't know what happened. Like I'm just trying to like pick up clues, but I'm just saying I'm not trying to, because I find a lot of people trying to accuse the kids. I mean, I know they're adults, but these are literal children. Like the way people are attacking them, I find it very inappropriate. I truly do. Um, but yeah, I was saying it felt like she might have felt threatened by Kiely, maybe by looks. Maybe she felt Kiely looked better than her, or I don't know. Like it could have been was skinnier than her or had a better body, whatever that means to each individual person. Um, yeah, yeah, and I keep on getting that the way that she was treated. It's more like I see that she thought that she should be treated one way, and she was kind of seeing people treat Kiely the way she felt she should be treated. And maybe she wasn't getting that amount of treatment that she was expecting. Um, Okay. And what I was getting when I called Kylie a tomboy, maybe not exactly a tomboy, but her demeanor seems like she could have been just cool, not drama seeking, not attention seeking. Maybe Sam was a little bit more drama and attention seeking, or whatever that means. And I try to stay out of the actual tea of what was going on unless it was relevant. I don't want to be involved in teenage tea, like unless I just don't. Like, Okay, I went on it, not on a rant, but I was saying I was staying away from any drama. I don't want to go into anything too deep about these people's actual real lives. I just want to keep it to what's going on with Kylie, what happened to her. Um, I started talking about like the narcissistic empath relationship a little bit. I'm not sure where that comes into play here, um, but I brought it up, so I'm just bringing it up again. There's any use these terminologies. Da, 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 da. Okay, that's not important. Met people. Okay, that's not important. Aha. Okay. She says someone wanted to offer her something. I mentioned that already. I mentioned kind of looking forward to a couple things. I think that Sam, yeah, I already said I don't think Sam did anything negatively to Kiely. Intoxicated substance. Yes. Yep, I mentioned I saw Kiely take a pill and pop it into her mouth. Um, yep, yep, and I mentioned it putting it between her cheek and her gums, like maybe trying to spit it out later. But like I said, I don't know if she did that to put it under her tongue to make it hit faster, or with the intention of disposing it later. And she didn't clarify. That's just literally what she showed me. Mm. Um, and then at some point, I saw that Sam mentioned something on Instagram that they're not right. They didn't tell the family. They don't know. I will say this though, she's pretty dang on confident that Sam was that this dive team was lying. It's like, why would they lie? Number one. Number two, why would they say they contacted law enforcement and the family? And if you're as close to the family as you say, well, close to Kiely as you say you were, and there's probably instances where there are people who are friends are not necessarily close to the family. Why didn't you know? How is it that you didn't know? Or was it that you have a family? And I don't know. I just heard that she has maybe some lawyers in her family. Does she have family that's in law enforcement as well? Um, because I think that she may be expected to hear something from maybe a family member or something. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. That's me speculating, but to me that was just weird. And this person is grieving, and maybe a little too prone to go to Instagram to share things. But it was very um, odd. And then we're going to talk about that there were reports of the police officers themselves. Oh, wow. This is longer than I expected it to be. This isn't like a rambling stream per se, but I definitely want there be a record like that I did this today. um, and I want this to be up. I guess that's what you call it. Yeah, you have adults that were saying that telling the kids not to cooperate with the police officers, law enforcement, with the investigation. And I mentioned earlier that I can understand why that would be, but when someone's missing, I feel like I have lots of thoughts. I feel like the public and people who are there can do a little bit more without disclosing things and say, hey, I don't want to answer these particular questions, but I'll tell you this important stuff to help get them to the right place if they're able to. But also it's not cool to tell kids not to go to police officers. But the fact that no one has talked from that party, to me, is kind of saying that either there's someone that is very dangerous, because who can keep everybody? If there was 300 people involved, who can keep that many people shut up for this long? So it's either that there is a real threat on them, or they were involved in something, everyone, and they're all involved in the cover up. That's where my mind goes. But this is speculation, so I don't want to confuse that and mix that up with what I'm getting intuitively. Mm-hmm. So what? Sorry, I'm reading what I'm saying. Like, mm-hmm. So what I was saying earlier, like again for my notes, was that everyone's shutting up and no one has said anything. No one's showing pictures. No one's showing video. Other creators have mentioned something like, well, these are kids and kids document everything. Not everything. there has been an anti-social media wave. And if you're older, like, let's just say in your maybe late 30s, 40s, maybe, you may not know that there's an anti-social media thing where there are social media that people get on, but it's stuff that adults aren't on. And then also, there's stuff that's like teen focused. Like they have their own shit that they like get on sometimes, but there's also been a thing where people realize pictures and photos are evidence, and people are not likely to take pictures of themselves while they're doing illegal things. Maybe at one point, but not anymore. So that's just my perspective on it. Okay, now there's something about the car, and I was picking up that people are nervous about it getting out that Kiely was under the influence of something, and I think that something is a little extra. It wasn't the alcohol. She could have more than two substances in her system, but I'm picking up she showed me a pill, so I'm going to go with that. I think yeah, and I think that they were nervous that she was under the influence of when she left. And I mentioned this before, that they would be held liable for the substances she had on deck if, something happened to her. That more feels like the energy. And I feel that people at the party were hoping she was found alive. Because that would mean that the drugs in her system wouldn't be found. So I'm interested to see what the results of that are. Okay, that's what I was talking about. I got my block cards. If there was a cover up. Oh, okay. And I said thank you. And I did try to ask Kiely because I felt her presence here. And what was so interesting, I'm gonna mention this now. I wanted to mention it at the beginning, but what was interesting is that the search for her, like not the search. So it ended like at 5:30 my time. I have to put it in my time so I know they're out there. And I felt her around, because I've been trying to tap into her energy occasionally throughout the past 2 weeks, and all I got was water. And I said, okay, well, if you're, I will do a reading tonight, which was this morning when I tapped in. And then by that time, she was found. The direction of my read was going to be different. So it was good, kind of, that, I didn't get into it then. And then I went to do this because I was going to pull cards. But when I went to pull cards, I didn't feel her around anymore. I was going to read what I'm reading now for my notes, but then I was going to pull cards as well to see if there's anything that she wanted to like relay or, you know what I'm saying? Like, chime in on. And I did not feel her at all. And I'm like, what is going on? So I turned on YouTube and I see that the recovery effort is going on. And I actually am going to I have the link. I'm actually going to put the link to the thing here so you can see it, so you can watch it if you want to. But that literally, I think I went live shortly after that happened, but I did not feel her around. And it felt like, and I'll say how she felt like before, like she was with her family. She was with her family. They needed her, and that's where she was at. That's what it felt like. And I was like, well, and then, the me refreshing my YouTube feed, I just randomly saw that this place was live streaming them recovering her car. So if you want to see it, the link is there. I've put it in the live chat so you can see. But that's when I was like, oh. And so I watched that for the hour and 20 minutes it was on, I believe. And then that ended at about maybe 5 minutes to 11 my time. And then I started this stream, which at this point, it's like I started the stream maybe 15 minutes later. And I was like, okay. To be honest, I still don't feel her around, and that's fine. She's with her family as she should be. But before that, I feel like she was just, she was, chiming in as she could. Like it seemed, again, I don't want to kind of talk about her right now because I want to stay respectful and mindful of her energy and just knowing there are going to be some people who will use what certain people who are able to tap into her energy for, I don't say nefarious purposes, but for, just leave the girl alone. Let her pass. Let her be with her family. Um, when I tap in, she does not need to be here to tap in. Like, the way my gift works, I can't medium. Like, I can't be a medium, which is communicate with the dead if she's not here. But, I have other ways of interpreting things that have been shown to be pretty accurate, that where I don't need to rely on her energy like that. So anyways, so moving on. Okay, there was something I got and I didn't want to say it out loud because this is the second thing she showed me, was that it was after I was like, okay, she's under influence. And I will say that I cannot tell if this incident happened at this party or if it happened at a prior one. It seemed like she was frightened of someone. This felt like a male, and this feels like it could have been a different male than the one I picked up on earlier. What I got was that what I saw was her kind of showing me someone taking their hands and putting it over her mouth, and her struggling to struggling. I don't want to say struggling to scream. I just see like shock in her face. I see her fighting with this person. I don't know if the person was able, excuse me. I don't know. I don't think the person was able to do what he wanted to do, which was to assault her, essentially, if you know what I mean. I don't think it got that far, but that incident scared her because I feel like she trusted this person up until that happened. And from that point on, she no longer trusted this person. So I feel like this may have happened at a past event. It could have happened at this one, but it could have been a past one. And I feel like he showed up, or someone associated with him showed up to the party, and she wanted to get the hell out of Dodge. I feel like if there was an impetus there, and I was saying earlier, like I almost don't want to say this. This feels like like this feels like, I don't know, like this feels like a lot. So I'm just gonna say it, and I don't know if this is how accurate this is. I'm just gonna say that. I feel like she was trying to get the hell out of Dodge. And if there was a time where she would have driven without, like, while being under the influence, this probably would have been it. Because I feel like she was genuinely scared. I feel like she was genuinely scared of this person. She did not want to be assaulted. She knew she was under the influence, and under the influence of something that maybe she didn't normally take. And she did not want to be anywhere near this person. And it feels like it could be a guy, but honestly, it could be anyone. I don't want to specifically say it was a guy. It could be a guy. It could be a woman. It could be anyone at this point. I don't want to say it was a man. It had to be a man because the hand that I saw wasn't a particularly masculine or feminine one. So I can't tell looking at the hand, and I'm not getting an indication. I can just literally tell you what I saw and the feeling I got from her with that. And like upon, like, so I'm just going to say that. So yeah, I just need to say that because, oh my God. Yeah, so I feel like, so I'm going to read my notes. I said I don't want to say this out loud. I'm going to say it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Yeah, maybe someone tried to assault her and keep her quiet, and something happens because image-wise, yeah, I don't feel, yeah, and I see here, what I picked up in my notes is that it doesn't feel like a woman, and that I don't know if there's other women around, so maybe it was a mostly male party, and she was the only female person there, but like I said, I don't want to say a gender because it could be someone that is masculine presenting, but you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to, and so I know now, but I didn't know at the time that I was recording this. What I saw her in was in like a bigger car. I see that she has a CRV, and I didn't know what year her CRV was. I think I only knew the color of the car, which was like maybe white or silver, but I don't think I knew what car she had until like I just saw the recovery effort here. And I say that to say that what I saw was that her in the seat of a larger car. And what I'm gonna have to look. You know what? Let me look it up now because I think it was a 2013 CRV. Excuse me. I'm trying to remember if that's before they went to looking like to looking like a soccer mom SUV, like a soccer mom car, not a soccer mom car, but like a minivan. I think they're trying to appeal to stay-at-home moms with that look. They used to look very sporty. Okay. So I'm trying to look at the interior. Oh, wow. There's the interior here to see if that was. Oh, okay. This might have been it. This might have been like, because it just looked like a very roomy room. It looks like they were in the front portion of the car, and it looked like it was very roomy. So this could have been the type of car she was in, but it looked very roomy. Okay, so let me. So that was something I was wondering about because I did ask. I'm like, did she have a SUV or bigger car? And I mentioned front part of the car, like something about the assault, and I said I couldn't figure out if it happened that night or if someone that was around who tried to assault her previously. And I couldn't get if this person was successful in what they were trying to do. I just got that she was scared of this person and she did not want to be around this person. She did not want to be left alone with them. And I feel like if there was a time for her to drive, this might have been it. Yeah, and I keep on repeating that. And so I was just the feeling of wanting to get out of there was just prevalent. Okay, and I think I said that's what I have. And I'm gonna go listen to the news to see if there's new news and reports. And yeah, I mentioned that there was a lot that I wanted to do about this. Like been wanting to do this reading, but I didn't feel like called to it, you know. And it's one of those things where if I don't get okay, I got all this information, time to do a reading. I'm just not really. All I got was water, and maybe that water was my indication to just step in and do it. But I try not to just jump into something just because everyone else is. I try to contribute something, and I'll try and actually make a summary of what the statements that I haven't heard anywhere else. People have been mentioning other people, like other psychic, intuitives, people that do like crime stuff. So I'm gonna like if you have anyone that you suggest, let me know. I will go watch them eventually. I'll go get caught up on what's happening because I've been intentionally trying not to be too informed so that my interpretations, because I knew I was going to sound do a reading eventually, and I had kind of given myself like, okay, at the 2-week mark, what are you going to do to figure it out? So if you made it this far, thank you for listening. I believe I am done. If I have any more insights, I may come on and do an update or something, but this is probably going to be it. I'll add this to my my I don't know what to call this. I don't want to call them, I don't want to be disrespectful. That's my main issue with some of the true crime stuff is that people get so into it. It's like they think it's a game and they forget this is people's actual lives and these are actual people. Kiely's not coming back to her family. She's really gone. And for people to sit up here and speculate about what happened and trying to like stir up drama and tea and go post on people's Instagram accounts, that's so inappropriate. Like these people are grieving and you don't know all the information to just start accusing people of things. You can have a hunch, yes, but don't do that. Like don't bully someone, and you're going to bully someone who's like barely 18 about what? You know what I mean? I feel like they're just decorum should be a higher level, especially with the subject matter that we're dealing with. So that's part of the reason why I'm foraying into this area. Just to, for myself, just like, okay, if be the change that you want to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I want to inspire anyone to do anything, but if I want to see more of this type of respectful content, and I'll say respectful, like, I can't think of any other way to put it. Then I probably need to be making more of it. So I'll be trying to do that in the next couple months. And yep, have a great Sunday. This is the last day of Leo season. It makes me sad. I just like Leo energy. If you're not an energy person, you're like, what the heck are you talking about? That's fine. I think we're officially in Virgo season. So I'm going to end this. Thank you for listening. If you found anything, or if you have heard anything that corroborates anything that I've said, or anything that doesn't corroborate it, please let me know so I can take note of it. And just have a nice night. Take care of yourself. Be kind. Bye.